First time I ever worked professionally was kind of interesting. I went to Los Angeles City College, which had a great reputation, and they did have a fantastic theater arts department. Few teachers there were the great inspirations in my young life. And normally, it's a 2-year school, but normally anybody that's serious about acting would go there 4 years, because 2 years to get all of the history of the theater and costume and wardrobe and scenes and stage production and building sets. You had to do all of that. So 2 years, and you finally got to act and have some really good roles. Wait a minute, I supported myself through high school. I'm putting myself through college. I've got to eat. I got to start working. So I got a job in the summer after I graduated from 2 years, but I wanted to act. I wanted to act. So I went back one additional semester so I could actually have some leads in some plays, because they give you nothing your first year. And the second year, you get the little parts and the little walk-ons. So I did one semester, and I thought, gee, I can't afford, I can't feed I'm not on the GI Bill like half the actors and actresses that were in college with me. They'd been to Korea, and they'd been places. Shows you how old I am. So they got these funds every month to live on. I didn't. I had to pump gas, or I had to bus tables, or I had to do something. I'll go back one semester, I'll do some plays, I'll get an agent. That's what you need, an agent. I mean, you're talking a real novice, I didn't know. So I called and wrote invitations to every agent in Hollywood, and so many showed up, one man. And of course he saw me as Henry Higgins in Pygmalion. Rex Harrison, do I look like Rex? Maybe now I look like Rex Harrison, but when you're 19 years old, you don't look like Rex Harrison. So I did this play, and he came and he left after the first act. And I called him the next day and I said, well, Byron, and before I could finish the question, he said, how can I judge you? You're 19 years old and you're playing Henry Higgins in Pygmalion. How can I sell you? I said, well, Byron, give me a chance. You want to meet me as the real me? So we had lunch, and I was the 19-year-old. A few acne marks here and there, young. He said, okay, well, come to my drama class I have once a week for new talent. And I said, well, really, I've done 2.5 years of the hardest theater arts college in the world. Well, have an agent, but I'm not working. So what can I do? I found out that I loved makeup, but special effects makeup, horror makeup. And that was one of the prerequisites in this theater arts course, because in the theater, you do your own makeup. And a couple of the assignments were horror makeup. And I had a blast, because I loved monster films. When I was young, I went to see Frankenstein in black and white on Saturdays at the local theater for 14 or 15, 9 cents. I had different prices, they went up during my youth. So I loved Dracula and Frankenstein. So I said, well, I've got to get a job. What can I do? All right. Came up with an idea. I called the top horror film producers in Hollywood and said, if I spend hours doing a really special makeup, will you give me 30 seconds to come in and bleed on your carpet? And the first person that said yes was Gene Corman. And I literally put my ghoul makeup on, drove from where I lived in Hollywood across Hollywood to American International in this gothic makeup with blood coming out of my mouth. And anyway, I went in and bled on his carpet, and he hired me to play the lead in a film called The Beast from the Haunted Cave. I said, what kind of beast do you want? Well, how do you want me to do me? No. Has to be an animal that mutated from radiation. Oh, I can't play myself with monster makeup on? That's what I do. No. It has to be an animal that has mutated and become horrible and kill people. So I went to the Hollywood Public Library, and I found a fascinating insect called the wingless hanging fly. And, okay, it got mutated into a large creature from a fly. And I literally, for $29, that was my budget, built the Beast from the Haunted Cave. And I did all of the makeup, the horror makeup, for the people that I sucked their blood out of and cocooned them and stuff. So that was my very first role. And I remember calling Byron and said, Byron, I'm going to be gone for a month. What? Yeah, I'm doing the Beast from the Haunted Cave. What? I said, yeah, Byron, I have to work. You haven't sent me out on any interviews. And I did this makeup thing, and Gene Corman? I said, yeah. Roger Corman's brother? Yeah. And I'll be gone for a month. Oh. But it jogged him into thinking, I better do something, or this kid's going to go out and get parts by himself, and I'm not going to get a commission, because he didn't get a commission on that. I did this. It was a horror movie, and it was horror makeup. It was a monster. When I came back, he had me in to meet a producer real quick, which was Bert Topper, and I did The Diary of a High School Bride. And I read for the lead and the bad guy, and Bert said, you could do either one, but I tell you, the bad guy's a much better part. I said, yeah, you're right. I'll do the bad guy, okay. So I did that, and from that, I got a chance to read for the Dick Clark film, Because They're Young, and I got to beat up Dick Clark. So that's how I started. Those three were the beginning of what you see here.